Welcome back. Chris Wallace here with the Defender News. This week we're going to talk about the approval trap. More clearly, it's about oversharing and the approval trap. Many men live with a quiet frustration they can't quite name. They read something about discipline, masculinity, leadership, or self-respect, and the idea lands with them immediately. Something inside them recognizes the truth from it. When I speak to people in person, you can see it in their eyes. But then they forward it to their wife or their girlfriend. What do you think of this? I can't tell you how often I've had to tell men not to do this. They read a post, they see a graphic, download a PDF from our work together, and then immediately send it off to their partner for review. That instinct is a problem. It's like dependency dressed up as self-improvement. I was texting with a former manager of mine. He's become a long good friend and we're colleagues. He runs a company and he writes books, and we were speaking about men and women, as we like to do. I mentioned my view that men lead, women command, and that if he fails to lead, he will be commanded. My guess is you won't like that, I told him. Agreeing, he said, I lead. Most men are commanded. But the thing is about leadership, he explained, you need to know what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. And you need to listen to advice on things that you're not good at. I responded by telling him how my missus often shows me stuff that I've completely missed. It goes right over my head. He continued with, good leaders surround themselves with those that complement them, trusting their advice on topics outside their knowledge base. Insecure leaders surround themselves with yes men, terrified to do anything but compliment their bad ideas. And that's the difference. So it's easy to understand complementary in principle by looking at business teams or marriages out there in the surrounding world somewhere. But can we walk the talk personally? A child begins life inside the mother's nervous system. Over time, he separates, individuates, and learns to operate from his own judgment. For most of human history, this process happened inside a larger family network that include relatives and neighbors. It's just that Western cultures have changed what worked for thousands of years. The loss of generational masculinity and male spaces and rites of passage, as well as the reconstitution of the family unit under feminist and lettered radical influences, cost men and women dearly. A man who sends every insight home for evaluation has already surrendered authority over his development. He has placed transformation in the hands of someone who cannot guide it. The result is hesitation. Historically, you see, boys learn how to be a man by watching other men. Fathers, uncles, coaches, tradesmen demonstrated how responsibility was carried. They made decisions, absorbed pressure, and handled reality without constant explanation. When that transmission is weak or absent, men look elsewhere for guidance and revert to the nervous system influences most familiar, and the closest authority becomes the woman in their life. Advice, reassurance, and emotional calibration begin to flow through that relationship. A man seeking constant approval from his partner recreates the oldest relationship in his nervous system. He becomes the boy again. She becomes the evaluator who reassures and corrects, like mom. Many relationships operate in this pattern without anyone naming it. The man explains himself, the woman reacts emotionally, the man adjusts his position to maintain peace, the cycle repeats. This pattern is reinforced by another reality that few people discuss honestly. Women carry heavy emotional burden in daily life. Anyone who has spent years listening to female clients knows how often shame, anxiety, and relational pressures shape their experience. Their nervous systems monitor social harmony constantly. That sensitivity evolved for a reason. Female survival and the survival of her infants depended on maintaining bonds and protecting the group. Men evolved under different pressures. Risk, confrontation with danger, and the defense of territory rewarded direct actions and clear decisions. Two different operating styles emerged. One protects social cohesion, one confronts problems directly. Modern culture often insists that the first style must dominate the second. Every statement must be softened. Every idea must pass through emotional approval. Every uncomfortable truth must be filtered until it produces no disturbance. The system as it is produces timid men who lack character. A man who can't speak plainly cannot lead. A man who organizes his decisions around emotional approval can't stabilize anything. The oversharing culture that trains men to constantly explain themselves has not produced stronger families or healthier communities. Who are we trying to kid? A civilization that trains its men to seek maternal approval before acting will struggle to confront reality, defend itself, or build anything durable. The result is a culture that becomes bureaucratic, hesitant, and easy to manipulate. The rest of the world sees it and cannot believe how easily we have surrendered our own authority. The problem is not women. The problem is men abandoning their role. She is the burdened female, precious creator of life. He is the expendable male, powerful defender of life with plenty of overlap. Together, they are complementary team human. When a man fails to be a powerful defender of life, he reverts to simple expendability. The correction begins quietly when a man does his work amongst men. He inspects his life honestly. He strengthens his nervous system. He stops forwarding every idea for approval. He stops explaining himself as though he is asking permission to exist. Instead, he acts to manage his life quadrants: physiology, piety, people, production. His reactivity decreases. His steadiness increases. His decisions become clearer. Respect grows from observable behavior rather than discussion. Tensions still appear. Men and women approach the world differently, and that difference produces friction. That friction is not a crisis, it's part of the design. A man does not panic when emotional turbulence appears. He stabilizes the moment. He rescues with reassurances without surrendering direction. He reminds the people around him of the deeper partnership beneath the conflict. Strength begins moving outward from him rather than inward towards him. He does not grow by seeking love. He grows strong enough to give love. That's the difference. And a man who must ask permission to grow will never do it, because that's how it works. Stay powerful, true and free. You'll be interested to know I created a short course called Trigger Reset that shows you how to identify emotional reactions that run automatically and update them so they stop controlling your behavior. It's not endless therapy. It's a practical system you can apply immediately. If you want it, the link's in the description. Now back to our regular programming.